Yo, what is good, guys? It's the Terrible Thief here, or Sean, back with another video. Today's video is going to be another story time, a pretty funny and crazy one in my opinion. But yeah, guys, I'm going to start doing like a Q&A pretty soon, so if y'all could like leave some comments, and also, you guys could also just hit up my Snapchat or my Instagram, you know, my DMs are fucking open, so if y'all have any questions for the Q&A video, that would be fucking lit. But yeah, guys, today's story time is going to be a pretty crazy one in my opinion. So without further ado, let's get into this, and I hope y'all enjoy. Today's video is going to be another story time, and a pretty funny and interesting one in my opinion. Now, this story time actually takes place very recently, over the weekend actually. And this story time actually takes place right after the last one. Now, it all starts as a pretty regular day, and I actually had plans to go skiing with some of my good friends. So, you know, I wake up, I take a shower, I get all my warm equipment ready, I get my fucking jacket, my snow pants, my gloves, all that shit, you know? I go put it in my truck, and I'm pretty low on gas this day, so I had to get some more gas. So I go to the fuel station, and I get my gas, and I'm driving down the ski mountain, which is like about a 40-minute drive from where I live, and so it's not too bad of a drive. But anyways, I eventually go skiing. I have fun with my friends, and I fell a lot because I'm kind of shit at skiing. But after I'm done skiing, two of my other friends, they have to go, right? And so it's just me and one of my good friends. And for the sake of this video, let's just call this friend Garrett. Now, after skiing, me and Garrett didn't really have anything to do, and we were just planning on like hanging out, smoking a little bit of weed. You know, just the usual, and just having a good time. So, anyways, we get back to Garrett's house, which is pretty close, and he has a bong, and so the weed that I bought in the last story time, we end up packing the bong with that. We end up packing a bowl, and we go out on his back porch, and we're just smoking. We're getting pretty fucking faded, right? But we're getting pretty good into the sesh, right? And then his next door neighbors, their kids end up coming out on the back porch. So he's like, fuck, dude, we gotta smoke somewhere else. So I'm like, bet that, dude. Because, like, when I get faded, I get pretty damn paranoid sometimes. And so we're sitting around, we're chilling, and I'm like, yo, do you want to drive around for a little bit? And my friend Garrett's like, you know what? That doesn't sound like a bad idea. Let's fucking do it. Because the town we were in was a pretty small town, not too many cops, you know? But we end up going down this, like, road that has like a lot of trails for like backcountry skiing and that type of thing. And so we end up driving down the road, right? And eventually we found a pretty good place to smoke. So I wasn't planning on smoking anymore, but he was. But the funny part is he actually forgot his fucking lighter, so we couldn't have smoked anyways. But as we're driving back, my truck starts like pulling to the right, and I'm trying to like fight it. I'm trying to like pull to the left. But eventually we get stuck in a fucking ditch, right? And so I'm in 4-low, right? I put my truck in 4-low, and I try to like slowly reverse out of it. That's not fucking working, right? So then I try to like drive out of it like regularly, but that didn't work either. So then we're like, fuck it. I guess the only option is to like shovel out. So we eventually grab a couple shovels from the bed of my truck, and we eventually just start trying to free the tires, right? And there's a couple people that like actually came by to ask if we needed any help, but sadly they didn't have a tow rope, and this one guy in a truck came by and tried to help us, but he didn't have a tow rope either. So we were like, fuck, man, what are we gonna do? So I'm like, yo, Garrett, you should get a fucking ride back to your house so you can get your Tundra and pull me out of this fucking ditch, right? My friend was like, no, I don't want to take any rides from strangers. So I'm like, all right, whatever, man, that's fair. So eventually a lady pulls up, and she has a Subaru, and she actually does have a tow rope, and she's like, hey, I think I can help you guys. So we hook the rope up to the front of my truck, and she ends up like hooking the rope up to the front of her car, and she's in like this tiny little Subaru Outback, right? And as she's like pulling us out, she ends up pulling off her entire front end. And so my friend Garrett's out there, and he's like, shit, ma'am, I'm so sorry. And right as this happened, another guy comes by, and he's in a Ford Excursion, right? So it's like a way bigger, way more capable vehicle to get us out. And so eventually we help this lady like put the front end of her car in the back of her car, and she's like, no, it's okay, guys. I was planning on fixing it anyways. So she was actually really chill about it. So that's actually really nice. But eventually, we hook it up to the Ford Excursion, right? And the Ford Excursion just pulls it right out, like, effortlessly. But after we're out, I end up shaking both of their hands. Their names were Chloe and Tom. And Chloe and Tom, if you guys are watching this, shout out to you guys right now. You guys are real as fuck for trying to help us get out. But me and my friend thank the lady for pulling us out. Because because she at least tried to help us get out, you know? So, like, even though she didn't, like, actually pull us out, it's the thought that counts, you know? But a little bit before this, when me and Garrett were opening up my tailgate, the entire tailgate of my truck just fucking falls off, right? And we're struggling to, like, put this on, and we're just looking like a bunch of fucking retards. So, eventually, once we're out of the ditch, we're just, like, driving slow, right? And we have the bong in the car. We have like 5 grams on us. Right, I have a little bit of Copenhagen, but it's almost fucking empty. Like, I was pretty much out of dip by then, so it's just like an empty can. And the truck kind of smells a little bit like weed, you know? And so I'm driving around with my tailgate that's fallen off pretty much. It's being held on by those like little rubber pieces, you know, like in a truck, how like there's those 2 rubber things that hold the tailgate on. Is pretty much only being held together by those 2 things. And my friend was like, you know, if we get pulled over, we're fucked right now. And I'm like, yeah, dude, let's hope that doesn't happen. And right as he said that, a fucking cop, like, passes us on the other side of the road. And thank fuck that guy was on the other side of the road and wasn't behind us, or he would have seen the tailgate and probably pulled us over, because I definitely had some shit in the back of my truck. Like, I had a couple snow shovels, I had a backpack, I had, like, a couple sandbags in there to like help with weight. But eventually I'm like, yo, Garrett, we should definitely like pull into like a neighborhood or something and try to fix my tailgate. And so we're fixing my tailgate and it's not working too well. And eventually we get the tailgate put on, but the tailgate wasn't really on that well, and it like kept on like kind of wanting to fall down. But during that night, we've probably said at least like 200 slurs between the both of us, just because how fucking frustrated we were at putting this fucking tailgate on. I'm not that much of a racist person, but like whenever I don't have fucking nicotine and whenever my cortisol goes up, the slurs definitely come out for sure. And we definitely were not allies of any community that night, to say the least. Like, I definitely said a lot of shit that I definitely cannot repeat on YouTube, because if I repeat any of the shit we said that night on YouTube, BLM would probably show up to my doorstep and beat the shit out of me and say, "This one's for Floyd, you motherfucker," as they're kicking my side in. But yeah, eventually we get the tailgate put on to the best of our ability, and I go home, and it was a merry night, you know? I just chilled. It was just a nice night. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the story time, and please leave a like, please drop a follow. And also, please leave a comment, guys, because I want to do a Q&A video eventually. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the story, and peace.